What if the next worker entering the factory doesn't need a lunch break, a commute, or even a pulse? What if it can unload containers in the morning, inspect machinery after lunch, and then learn an entirely different assignment overnight? For decades, industrial robots have been powerful, but predictable. They welded the same joint, moved the same component, and repeated the same program motion. Artificial intelligence is changing that equation. AI learned to communicate, then it learned to reason, then AI agents began taking digital action. Now AI, it's getting a body. Tesla, Figure AI, Apptronik, Agility Robotics, Boston Dynamics, and companies around the world are racing to build humanoid robots capable of operating inside factories, warehouses, businesses, and eventually our homes. But are we witnessing the birth of a new global workforce or another technology cycle running ahead of reality? Today, we're separating the working robots from the demonstrations, confirmed deployments from ambitious projections, and genuine opportunity from futuristic hype. This is Future Forward Friday, Episode 7, The Robot Economy, When AI Gets a Body. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Unbearably Bullish Podcast, the official podcast of The Bull You Can't Bear. I'm your host, Donald Johns, and remember, tomorrow is not waiting for us. Tomorrow is being built today. Last week, we explored the digital workforce, AI agents capable of planning workflows, using software, and completing multi-step assignments. But a digital agent remains inside a digital environment. A humanoid robot connects that intelligence to the physical world. Think of it like this. The AI model is the brain. Cameras, microphones, and sensors become the eyes and the ear. Motors and actuators become the muscles. The battery becomes the energy system. The hands provide dexterity, and the software controls perception, balance, navigation, and movement. But why make robotics look like us? Because the world was already built for the human body. Factories, warehouses, and homes contain stairs, shelves, tools, doors, workstations, and vehicles designed around human height, movement, and reach. Instead of rebuilding every environment around a specialized machine, companies are asking a different question. Can we create one adaptable machine capable of operating inside the environment that already exists? That is the economic argument behind the humanoid form. Let's begin with the company receiving the most public attention currently, Tesla. Tesla describes Optimus as a general-purpose autonomous robot designed to perform work that is unsafe, repetitive, or boring. Tesla brings several potential advantages to the race: experience with computer vision, artificial intelligence, batteries, electric motors, manufacturing, and global supply chains. Tesla has disclosed plans for an Optimus production line in Fremont designed around an eventual annual capacity of 1 million robots, with a much larger second-generation line planned for Texas. But listen closely to the language. Designed capacity is not actual production. Production is not deployment, and deployment is not profitability. Tesla must still prove reliability, safety, component availability, useful autonomy, and customer demand. The blueprint may be incredibly bullish. Execution remains the barrier. Next is Figure AI. And Figure has provided some of the clearest evidence that humanoids are moving beyond promotional demonstrations. Figure reported that its Figure 2 robots operated at BMW's Spartanburg plant for more than 1,250 hours, loaded over 90,000 parts, and contributed to the production of more than 30,000 BMW X3 vehicles. The assignment involved loading sheet metal components into welding fixtures and structured industrial workflow with measurable requirements for speed, accuracy, and human intervention. Figure 3 has now returned to BMW for more complicated logistics assignments. Instead of simply repeating one fixed movement, the robot must select and position parts that may arrive at different angles while coordinating its hands, arms, torso, and feet. That progression is important. First, prove one task, then improve reliability, then expand the difficulty, then scale. Figure also reported producing more than 350 Figure 3 robots and increasing its manufacturing rate from approximately one robot per day to one per hour. That does not mean millions of humanoids are ready to work tomorrow, but it does suggest the industry is beginning to move from prototypes toward fleets. Then we have Apptronik and its Apollo humanoid. Apollo is being tested with Mercedes-Benz for manufacturing workflows such as moving components and supporting quality inspections. Apptronik also partnered with Jabil to manufacture Apollo and test the robots inside Jabil's facilities for inspection, sorting, fixture placement, and line-side delivery. Think about that for a moment. Humanoid robots could eventually help build more humanoid robots. That sounds like science fiction to me, but the near-term objective is practical. Place robots inside structured environments, assign measurable tasks, and collect the operational data needed to improve them. Agility Robotics is approaching the market through logistics. Its Digit robot has been deployed by GXO Logistics under a multi-year robots as a service agreement inside a live warehouse environment. Robots as a service could become an important business model. Instead of purchasing an expensive robot outright, a company could pay for access based on time, productivity, tasks, or availability, similar to using cloud computing instead of building an entire data center. Then there's Boston Dynamics. For years, Boston Dynamics produced some of the world's most impressive robot demonstrations. Its electric Atlas humanoid is now being developed for industrial applications supported by Hyundai's manufacturing capabilities. But Atlas teaches us an important lesson. A robot performing an extraordinary movement on camera is impressive. A robot completing thousands of ordinary movements safely and reliably is commercially valuable. The viral video, it gets the attention. The uptime creates adoption. This is not only an American competition. China has built a rapidly growing humanoid robotics ecosystem through companies including Unitree, Ubtech, Agibot, and Cherry-affiliated Aomaga. These companies are developing robots for manufacturing, logistics, research, customer service, and public environments. China brings major advantages through electronics, manufacturing, component supply chains, industrial scale, and large domestic market for automation. Unitree has attracted global attention with comparatively affordable humanoid platforms. Ubtech has placed Walker robots in automotive manufacturing environments. Agibot has been expanding production. Aomoga reports deploying robots across dealerships and public service environments. But we need another important distinction. A robot delivered to a research institution or demonstration center is not necessarily completing productive commercial labor. Shipping numbers matter, but useful operational hours matter more. The future humanoid market will not be a one-company race. It may become a competition between entire technology manufacturing and ecosystems. The humanoid demand thesis rests on 5 major forces. Number 1, labor shortages. Manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, and elder care frequently struggle to fill physically demanding and repetitive positions. Number 2, worker safety. Humanoids could eventually handle dangerous inspections, heavy lifting, hazardous materials, and extreme environments. Number 3, existing infrastructure. A human-shaped machine could potentially use the same doors, aisles, tools, and workstations already used by people. Number 4, flexibility. Traditional industrial robots are usually engineered around one specific assignment. The humanoid promises an adaptable platform capable of learning multiple jobs. And number 5, shared intelligence. Connected robot fleets could continuously collect data and improve their software. When one robot learns a better method, that capability might eventually be distributed across the entire fleet. But businesses will not adopt humanoids simply because they look futuristic. They will adopt them only when the economics work. Companies will evaluate the purchase or subscription price, productivity per hour, energy consumption, maintenance, uptime, human supervision, insurance and liability, safety performance, and integration costs. The real question is not, can the robot complete the task once? The real question is, can it complete the task repeatedly, safely, and at a lower total cost? So, how many humanoids could eventually be operating around the world? The projections vary dramatically. Omida previously projected approximately 38,000 annual humanoid shipments by 2030. Goldman Sachs published a base case projection of more than 250,000 shipments in 2030, primarily for industrial use. Interact Analysis projects annual shipments could exceed 700,000 units by 2035, with China accounting for the majority of real-world deployments. Looking much further ahead, Morgan Stanley estimates that more than 1 billion humanoids could potentially be operating globally by 2050. 1 billion. Whew. But Morgan Stanley also expects adoption to remain relatively slow until the mid-2030s before potentially accelerating. Why are these projections so different? Because nobody knows the final answer. Definitions vary. Costs may fall faster or slower than expected. Regulations could accelerate adoption or restrict it. Technical breakthroughs could arrive early or take another decade. Treat these projections as scenarios, not promises. The indicators that matter most are robots completing paid commercial work, operating hours without human intervention, task success rates, customer renewals, falling production costs, expanding manufacturing capacity, and deployments moving beyond controlled environments. Don't only count on the robots appearing in promotional videos, count the robots producing measurable value. Now it's time for my bull versus bear. The bull case: humanoids could become a new general purpose labor platform. AI is improving perception, learning, and decision making. Hardware costs could decline as production scales. Aging populations and labor shortages may create significant demand. Successful robots could eventually operate across manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, support, hospitality and retail, and perhaps our homes. Now, the bear case: the physical world is far less predictable than a computer screen. Objects move, floors become slippery, lighting changes, hardware wears out, batteries run down, and people behave. One serious accident could create regulatory restrictions and damage public trust. Companies must also answer difficult questions. Who is responsible when a robot causes harm? How much remote human supervision is involved? What information are its cameras recording? Could its software be hacked? Will robots eliminate positions or create different kinds of work? And who receives the financial benefit from greater productivity? The technology can be real while the timeline remains uncertain. That isn't bearishness. That is disciplined optimism. Here is this week's Future Forward Challenge. Identify one physical task in your workplace or everyday life that is repetitive, dangerous, or difficult to staff. Then ask 3 questions. Number 1, could a traditional machine already automate it? Number 2, does the task truly require a humanoid form? Number 3, what level of reliability, safety, and cost would make adoption worthwhile? Do not begin with the robot, begin with the problem. because successful innovation does not force the newest technology into every situation. It applies the right technology to the right problem. Let's do my bull's bottom line. AI learned to answer. AI agents learn to act. Now, humanoid robots are learning to move, manipulate, and work inside our physical world. But the winner may not be the robot that performs the best dance, runs the fastest, or creates the most viral demonstration. The winner will be the system that arrives on time, completes useful work, operates safely, and delivers measurable value. The robot economy may be coming, but it will not arrive everywhere at once. First, the factory, then the warehouse, then controlled commercial environments, and eventually, perhaps, our homes. The question is no longer whether AI will leave the screen. The question is, when it walks through the door, will you be ready to work with it? This is Future Forward Friday. Tomorrow is built today. Follow the herd. Always stay unbearably bullish. I'm Donald Johns, and thank you again for joining me for another episode of the Unbearably Bullish Podcast and Future Forward Friday. Until the next time, have a successful, productive, and profitable day. And remember, we appreciate all of you. Thank you for listening and love all of you. Have a great weekend.